Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So this is my last video today. It is the what's next on Deontay Wilder, the former longtime WBC heavyweight world champion, following his knockout loss, fourth loss of his career, his fifth round knockout loss to Zhilei Zhang on the 5 vs. 5 card, as it was the main event on June 1st on pay-per-view. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So, this one, you know, was definitely a disappointing loss for Wilder. You know, I think the chances of him losing, you know, were higher in this fight than the Parker fight, just because of the style difference, and also because he lost the Parker fight. But I just still think he had some of that luster and allure. I think a lot of people looked at the Parker fight and said, well, he was overlooking Parker, you know, now he's focused and dead serious. And he got, you know, he did the best he could. He landed some good shots, but he could not keep up with Zhilei Zhang. And Zhang overwhelmed him with his size and his power and stopped him in 5 rounds. So now the big question is, what's next for Deontay Wilder? Well, I really think it's retirement. I'm leaning towards Wilder's going to retire. But it's kind of hard to pass up on these bigger fights for all this money, you know? And I do believe that it's like 50-50 right now. I'm leaning towards retirement, but I also believe that he could come back and fight soon, you know, like fight before the end of the year. So if he doesn't retire, let's take a look at some of the options. Obviously, Usyk and Fury are off the table. He's not going to get either one of them. The Anthony Joshua fight, I mean, I think that fight still might have some legs to it. I think Joshua still would take the fight just for the name, you know, of Deontay Wilder. Maybe he'll be the guy to send him into retirement kind of angle right there. I do still think there's a possibility of Joshua and Wilder. Then Filip Hrgović. I mean, they're both coming off knockout losses on the same night. If Wilder were to come back and knock Hrgović out, it would be a big deal. Not sure Hrgović would want the fight, but I think it'd be hard for him to pass on it because Wilder's such a big name. I think this one could be a possibility as well. Then Zhilei Zhang in a rematch. I mean, depends on what other options Zhang has. If I really think Parker and Dubois and Joshua is going to happen. So that would leave, you know, Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker, the next options, open for a rematch. Now, it's up to Zhang, though. Zhang's the one that calls the shot on that rematch. If he doesn't want it because the Wilder rematch is on the table, he might go for that, you know? But I don't know, and I have to lean towards the less likely that Wilder wants Zhang again, man. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. I just have to lean towards he doesn't want Zhang again, at least not next. So I'd have to say no to that one. But I do think it's possible. Then Joe Joyce. I don't think Joe Joyce has a big enough name. He also got knocked out against what's his name, twice. And I just think Wilder would stay away from it. Joseph Parker, a rematch. I just think Parker's kind of on a different level. I mean, why would, after a loss to the guy that Parker beat as well in Zhang, why would he want to fight Wilder instead? You know, Parker might do it for name recognition, but I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. Like, I really think Parker has just better options across the board. And after Joshua and Dubois make the decision on whether they're fighting in September, I think Parker is going to line it up against somebody with a bigger name or with more at stake on the table. And so I just don't see a rematch between Parker and Wilder happening. Then there's Daniel Dubois, which would be a, you know, an interesting bout right here. But I don't think Dubois is going to give him the time of day. Maybe Dubois might fight him just because of the name if he doesn't get the Joshua fight. But I really do believe the Joshua fight's going to happen, so I have to lean towards the less likely here. Adrian Caballel, I don't think Wilder wants to dig that deep against a guy who doesn't have a name like Caballel, a big name. Martin Bakole, if Bakole beats Jared Anderson, maybe before the end of the year, Joshua might want to come back. I mean, Wilder might want to come back and fight Bakole, but I got to lean towards the less likely on that fight. Frank Sanchez, he's coming off a knockout loss too. Not sure Wilder would like his style, so I'm going to say no. Jared Anderson, I mean, this is a fight that Wilder wanted. If he could be ready by August, if he would have beat Zhang. Well, I think Wilder might fight Anderson if Anderson beats Bakole and he doesn't have any other options. So I do think there's still some legs to a possible showdown with Anderson and Wilder in a battle of American heavyweights. F.A. Ajagba, I don't see that one. Lenny Aparo, I don't see it. Now, the winner of Andy Ruiz and Jarrell Big Baby Miller is interesting. I really think if those guys don't get one of the bigger names after they fight each other, I think Wilder, this would be the guy you fight right here. Maybe on the Usyk Fury undercard, you go after the winner of this fight. You fight Andy Ruiz or Jarrell Big Baby Miller if they're victorious. They got names, they talk shit, they'll sell the fight. I think it makes sense. So I personally feel Wilder should retire, but I'm not sure he's going to. And I think it's about 50-50 right now. But there's this thing inside of me that's telling me Wilder's going to be back, even though there's this other thing telling me he should retire. So we'll see what happens, but that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on former longtime WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder, following his knockout loss to Zhilei Zhang on the June 1st 5 vs. 5 pay-per-view card. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.